So I'd like each one of them to have few words on why mutual fund. Everyone asks me that you are in this big boys club, you are in this overcrowded club, which I feel is not the case. We are just 6% penetrated in India. It's a long way to go considering where US is today. So Bhargav, we'll start with you. About mutual fund penetration.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Madhuji because she's the first woman founder of a mutual fund in India. I think we can give a big round of applause to her. It's a big day that this TWC mutual fund is being launched, and what they are going to strive, as you could see in the teaser, is how to make a difference in the crowd. It's a crowded world as far as number of mutual fund companies which are existing in India, that's true. But then there is always a scope to be different, and this is where they are starting. She, just now you heard her, she was talking about the distributor first, but then we are also going to keep, not forget that the most important person is the person who is putting in his money. And how do we ensure that we actually prove to be a good wealth manager for that particular investor that we will be striving for. And soon you will be witness to the schemes which we are going to launch. Already they are in place. We are going through the regulatory processes. So those schemes will really, you will feel that yes, they make a difference. Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations, Madhu and Mahesh. In fact, I've been with them, like Madhu said, for the last 8 years. So I've really seen their journey. I mean, right from just being a SME merchant banker to a full-fledged all services provider. I think this was the only piece which was missing. And I've actually seen them growing very aggressively. But aggressively one can grow for a while, but here I've seen consistency in aggression. And if I'm not wrong, possibly this is the fastest permission for mutual fund. I think it's within a year. I mean, that really shows as to their focus in getting things done. Now, talking about mutual fund industry, although the industry is about 30 years old now, if you're talking of the private sector one, call it UTI. And the sort of growth which you've seen post-COVID, I mean, from less than, I think, 3.5 crore demat accounts. I'm not talking of mutual fund as such, but overall investments from 3.5 crore demat accounts. Today we are talking of 19 crores. Although we have seen a 5-6x growth, but still, I would say it is at a nascent stage. There's a much longer runway for people to embrace investments, like Madhu said, in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns and cities. Because a lot of people still don't know about mutual funds, a lot of people still don't know about investments. So I think there's a long way to go. And from a market person's perspective, I think there's a change in the way the retail investor thinks and invests nowadays. Because when the markets fell last year, I mean, 21 to 24, we had an extremely good run. A lot of new investors came in. But when the markets fell, the feel was this time, I mean, for the first time, these investors are seeing the markets fall. Possibly they may run away, looking at the fall. So September last year to March this year, we had a very decent fall in the market. But unlike the expectation, investors stayed on with their SIPs, continued to increase their SIPs, and post-March we have seen records. Every month we have seen record. So I think there's a very clear change in the thinking of the investors. They are in for long term. And I think that's the sort of people we'll be serving. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So just to add to what Mr. Balika sir said, we were just over 11 lakh crore in 2015. 2025, this industry is more than 75 lakh crore. So I think this decade will again go 10x. So with right penetration, right knowledge, right partners, we are confident this industry will further go 10x and it's not at all a crowded industry. Jalan sir, please.
Yeah, I'm with Madhu and Mahabir for the last 6 years now. I have been associated with, as far as in the government, I have been associated with a major fund, the Employees Provident Fund, which was more than 30 lakh crores at that point of time when I left the organization. The EPFO number, EPFO subscriber number is more than 4.5 crore. So therefore, if we only cater to the EPFO subscribers, and then our number, the mutual fund number can increase to that extent. But yes, the penetration we need to make. Madhu, what I was talking to Madhu was that in the AIF, to the bigger people, she has given 10x returns. And now I'm looking for that type of returns for the common man, the democratization of that returns which she has given to the top people, till now the AIF people. They made a very, very good journey in the alternative investment fund sectors. They have grown very fast. I am sure with their commitment, the West company in the mutual fund space also will grow very, very fast, and they will be able to create a new record by virtue of their work, not by virtue of any name A or B or C or D. Maybe you might not be seeing the big names today in this hall, but you will see big work coming up in the next 4 or 5 months, and you will be talking of the fund in the way it is giving the returns. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
First of all, let me thank our friends from media for patiently waiting. Really thankful for that. And as you know, patience is what matters for investments. When we look at the investments, typically the strategy that was laid out in the video was change and edge. But it was an overlay of 3 C's, and the first C was care. When we look at the FMCG companies, they say customer first. When you look at mutual fund industry, it's the investor first. And for the investor, it's the care, which is first motive of an overlay theme for the Pentamonth Group. How do we care for the investors? So I think there are basically 2 aspects to my mind. And I'm not talking on behalf of Madhu, but that's what I feel is that first is how do we look after the investments and the returns of the investments for the normal individuals. They come across from all the walks of life, and that's where the strategy of change and edge would play a role. But the second part is the inclusion. How many people are actually looking at investments from tier 2, tier 3 cities? The data is available on MFI website, and we would find that a lot of states have actually not contributed to the mutual fund AUM. A lot of individuals are staying away from mutual fund industry, and I think that is where we need to be playing a role of care for the investors' money through a deep penetration, reaching out to them, making an effort. Unless you make an effort, you won't reach them. Unless you make an effort to educate your intermediaries, which is the mutual fund distributors, you won't reach them. So it's good to have large investors putting in money and you show your AUM, but that doesn't really go a long way. I think this is where the strategy of Pentamonth Group will be different. While we do look after the money of the rich people, we also want to penetrate and ensure that the mutual fund distributors are enabled through education, through training, and ensure that they reach out to the last person in the remotest place. So I think with that, I would say thank you again for patiently waiting, and I hope your patience pays off. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So I'll quickly introduce 3 more directors who couldn't be with us. So can we have Mr. Sharma, Ramseva Sharma? Sharma ji is on our trustee board. He is an IS officer of 78 batch, and he's the one behind implementation of COVID and Aadhaar. He was tri-chairman and also was also on the board of ONDC. Next. So we have Rashmi ma'am with us. She is also an IS officer. She has worked with Finance Ministry, Defence Ministry, Textile Ministry, and also have worked with the PMO's office. HC Jain is an IRS officer and was a principal commissioner earlier. So these three directors couldn't be with us because it was a very short notice for them, but we'll have interaction with them later.